If you're seeing this, get ready. Things are about to get really good for you. Like I'm talking, your manifestations are about to literally come pouring into your life. It's not an accident that you've stumbled upon this video. I'm going live on a Sunday, so this is kind of a Sunday energy vibe check in going into the week and going into the month of September. But here's how I know things are about to get incredibly amazing for you because you've probably been challenged with all kinds of things coming up, all kinds of breakdown, or maybe you feel like exhausted or your nervous system is shot, or maybe things feel like they're falling apart. That's because they are. You're literally in the portal of your quantum leap, which what can happen is a quantum crumble or a quantum reorganization. I know you've probably been asking for the things on your heart because of course you wouldn't have the desires of your heart if they weren't made to be manifested by you, which by the way, I'm live on Facebook and live on Instagram, so you can catch me on either platform right now. Last week when I did my Sunday live, I talked about stepping into bold action and really allowing yourself to embody the version of you that already has what she or he desires. And I invited you to do it, but it's because I was doing it myself. And so here's what's transpired this week by just inviting myself to take the action that I knew my highest self was calling me towards. I put out new content. I started a new business. I integrated AI, and it's been mind blowing. Which, by the way, check my stories or check my page. I started creating my AI clone. If you haven't seen it, my AI twin, and using her in content. It has saved so much time, energy, and money. And she literally made me a sale, the first reel that I posted. But I wouldn't have had that happen if I didn't take the bold action. So last week was about bold action. This coming week is about full embodiment of the version of you that truly knows you're meant for more, but has your desires. So, for example, if you're desiring the beloved, all right, how does the version of you who's in divine partnership speak, act, be, feel? If you're desiring more abundance, more wealth, how is the version of you showing up? Are you taking the inspired action? Are you looking at your finances or at money with gratitude, appreciation, even if there's not a lot of it? Are you staying in more of an optimistic, open minded consciousness? So, the invitation this week is to embody that version of you. I know you, and as you do it, that's the energy, that's the frequency that actually allows you to tune to the reality where you're experiencing your manifestation. That's how you attract it, so to speak. So the law of attraction, it's kind of an interesting thing. Like when it comes to manifestation, manifestation is about like mainstream talks about it as you attract something or you manifest it into reality. But in the truest sense of the word, when you're manifesting something, you're bringing it forth, you're becoming aware of it. So, what you don't realize about manifestation is there are infinite versions of you, infinite possibilities of you. If you're a quantum physics geek like me and you dive into that, in the quantum field of existence, there's something called superposition. And superposition means there's multiple expressions of the version of you that is experiencing things. So there's the broke and depressed version of you. There is the happy and abundant version of you. There is the wildly successful in love version of you, and maybe all different versions in between. The way you experience those versions of yourself is by shifting your frequency, tuning your energy, your focus. What are you focusing on? And what are you feeling? What are you allowing yourself to put focused energy? Your state of consciousness is another way to say it, or your state of being. So when you allow yourself to think about what you desire, let's say you want the beloved, okay? You're imagining yourself in a beautiful relationship. You're having movie night. You're snuggled up next to each other, eating popcorn, just so in love, so at peace, so in pleasure, right? Allow your physical body to experience that. Allow yourself to see through your own eyes in first person. Okay, this is an NLP hack that I'm giving you. In first person, imagine what would you be seeing if you're already with your beloved? What would you be hearing them say? What would you be saying? What would you feel? So the invitation this week is invest 5 minutes as you're going to bed at night and 5 minutes in the morning to just visualize, to embody, to allow yourself to see, hear, sense what it's like already living in your end outcome. Because that's what's going to align you with your highest timeline. And by the way, I'm doing this too. So each Sunday as I go live, all the things that I'm queuing up for my week, I'm inviting you to do too, in case you want to up level your life and really like lock in and live your highest timeline, the highest expression of you. So this is a very feminine practice. So manifestation a lot of times can take on more of a masculine feel because it's like, oh, I'm going to manifest it. I'm going to create it. And it's like, yes, you're manifesting it. But what you're doing is you're allowing your divine feminine energy, which is your embodiment. So masculine energy is doing, feminine energy is being. You need both. So when you're manifesting something, you of course are going to want to like get clear about what you desire, or at least have a general idea, and then embody it. And then when you're embodying the frequency or the feeling of it, assume it. This is called the law of assumption. The law of assumption says whatever you assume trains your brain, your unconscious mind accepts as true, and it starts to live out in your reality. That's what you, from a neurological scientific standpoint, that's what you'll physically see in your reality. Whatever you assume to be true. So if you assume that you're wealthy, healthy, and prosperous, and you can back yourself with your beliefs around it, then what you're going to see is more of that. If you assume that you're broke, you're not good enough, you're unworthy of love, then that is what you're going to see and experience in 3D reality. It's not a punishment. It's not right, wrong, good, or bad. All it is God loves you no matter what. God's like, whatever you put your attention and your focus on, that's your free will. Go ahead. I'll support you because I love you and you're safe no matter what. Whether you believe in God, the universe, the divine, like that, it's neutral. What you put your focused energy on is what you're going to energize. And that's how you live your highest timeline. I'm going to be doing a series. I'm not sure how this is going to look, but going into September, I'm going to be doing a series on helping each of us embody our highest timeline, our main character energy, and literally step into our iconic era, because now's the time. I'm sure you're freaking done waiting. You've probably been looping in cycles or patterns that you're like, I'm freaking done with this, right? The challenge that most of us face, because we were never taught, is that it's not an effort thing. It's not a work harder, do more. It's a embody the version of you. Allow yourself to claim it, to say, this is what I desire. Those old versions of me, I love them. We don't have to hate on anything. We don't need to resist anything. We can just love all parts of us. But we get to embody the version of us by claiming it, assuming that that end result is true. Because you can assume anything, right? That's part of your free will. Law of assumption. You can Google it. Law of assumption. Neville Goddard spoke a lot about this, an author back in the like 40s, 50s, 60s. The premise is that when you assume that you are already living in your highest timeline, you're activating physical areas in your brain. It's called the reticular activating system. And what that is, your RAS for short, says that it modulates your sleep cycles, but it also focuses on what's important to you. And it will delete, distort, and generalize and narrow your focus based on what you train it. That's an area in your brain. So if you're wanting to live the fullest expanded version of you, yay, hey, Sarah, I see you here on Facebook. And then I see Mark and a couple people here on Instagram. Oh my gosh, I love it. Drop a comment below. What are you manifesting? I'd love to know whether you're watching live or the replay. But as you start to assume the end result is what you're desiring, you're going to trigger your reticular activating system and areas in your brain that don't know the difference between physical reality and what you observe. So let's say you're wanting to be a best-selling author. Let's say you're wanting to lead a movement. Let's say you're wanting to be a multimillionaire and be rich AF because God knows you freaking deserve it, right? It's like God made us to be abundant, not struggling, striving, and that's for another video. I'm going to start talking more about consciousness and breaking out of the matrix milestones of, the things we thought that we needed to attain and create, and versus coming back to our heart, to unity, to love, to the creation of your heart and soul, because your creativity is your currency. So let's say whatever it is you want to manifest your soulmate, you want to be married, you want to have the family of your dreams. Maybe you've been struggling having children and that's been heartbreaking. And I feel for you if you're struggling in any area of your life. But wherever you're at, you can love and honor where you've been, and you can either, this is a more of a spiritual practice of surrender, or where you give it to God, give it to the universe, allow infinite intelligence to wash away, take the past off of you. And then you can move into the law of assumption that says, I'm going to assume with my feeling state, with my imagination, with my feeling state, that I already have the family that I desire, that I'm already living in the best-selling author reality, or the rich AF multimillionaire leading a movement, or married to my beloved. So you're going to allow yourself to assume that, which means when you wake up tomorrow morning, walk as the version of you that already has it. Step into that part of you. Meaning, how would she feel? How would she act? How would she speak? How would he embody? How would he go about his day? How would he be taking phone calls? How would he eat? Like literally, it's not another practice that you have to do. It's more just the simplicity is being. But we've spent so many years listening to what others have said, and whatever powers that be, the media, like, a lot of times media is driven by money. So is pharmaceuticals, so is food, so is so follow the money trail. Like people are going to push their own agendas. And that's not a bad thing in the sense of like, when you're marketing a product, if it's a product that can solve someone's problem, fine. Not everyone has the highest agendas, but you can always check within your own internal guidance system, your own discernment, because no authority, no one trumps your own authority, because you're connected to God, the divine, your higher self. So no doctor, no government, no politician, like no one trumps your own discernment. So you can always check within yourself and connect with what is true for me. We've been taught by institutions and society that, we have to look outside of ourselves for anything, for love, for beauty, for health, in a pill, in a potion, in a lotion, in a lift, whatever it may be. It's neither good, bad, right, or wrong. It's just we're entering into a phase of returning back home to ourselves, to our own heart, to our own creative power, which is allowing you to create, to manifest your highest timeline, the highest version of you. And the way you do it is quite simply tune. When I say tune your energy, tune your frequency. Another way to say it is just, how would it feel if you were already living the thing that you desired? And then what you'll do is imagine that you've already been living in it for like a month or two. So you're not like surprised and shocked. You're just like, oh yeah, of course it's natural and normal for me to be in a beloved relationship. I've actually cleaned out, go ahead, take actions like clean out your closet. If you're calling in the man of your dreams or the woman of your dreams, like clean out a section in your closet, clean out a drawer, signaling to the universe and your higher self, this space is for them. If you're calling in more money, maybe start looking at your bank account daily with love, appreciating the money you do have, or maybe start entertaining those opportunities, right? But you can start to live into the end result by imagining, and take 5 minutes to do this at night and in the morning. How would it feel if I was already living that? I know I sound redundant, but it's going to take some time to rewire all the programming we've had living in society, thinking we have to do more. That exhausts us. It burns us out. It's your state of being that creates your reality, your state of consciousness, what you're aware of and what you're being. So that's the simplicity. That's the magic in manifesting. Are there all kinds of manifestation practices and tools you can use? Absolutely. They're permission slips, though. They're not required. Like if you don't journal today, or if you don't do your affirmations, or if you don't tap, you're not going to not get your manifestation. Or if you're in a low vibe, it's not that you're not going to get your manifestation. In some of my most darkest, broke down, shittiest moments of my life, I've manifested things better than I can imagine, from a lover, from money, from creative self-expression, right? So don't be fooled by all the rhetoric that is out there. And that's okay. It doesn't mean that people are wrong. Here's another secret tip I'm going to give you behind the scenes. Different truths or different practices are going to work for you at different levels of consciousness. Sometimes us humans can only accept, receive, or believe something at a certain level of consciousness. Our consciousness isn't like open to the fact that things could be easy and fluid and life-giving. If we have a limited scope or a certain state of consciousness, then there will be certain practices, tools, solutions, resources, remedies that would support you at every level of consciousness. So it's not bad. It's all good. It's all God. Like God is in everything. God is in the pill. God is in the dating app. God is, like, and I'm saying God, but whatever you resonate with, could be your, universe, Allah, source, infinite intelligence, energy. But the fact is that that creative life force is you. It's in you, as you. It always has been, and it always will be. Till you take your last breath. Till I take mine. The consciousness that is peering through your eyes is with you, and it's abundant AF. And it's something that I have had to learn and still continue to learn. That abundance is our natural state. Love, it's our natural state. Giving is the secret to receiving. Your creativity is your currency, and you are the mother effing one. You are the creator, the decider, the allower of things into your field. You're working with God force, the consciousness, Christ consciousness energy that is you, that birthed you, that grew your body in your mom's belly and beats my heart, beats your heart, creates universes. Like that is freaking divine intelligence. And that's the same energy that's peering through your eyes is creating you. In fact, the reason why you even have your desires, that's God's blueprint for you, or the universe's true north to give you a map on where to go. Now, I will be the first to admit I have ignored this and I have not always listened to the map, and I've tried to do it in my ego way, and I've tried to wrestle through it and figure it out on my own as opposed to surrender. Breathe. Look around in your 3D reality and see where there's abundance already there. And that as I come back to the truth of who I am, the one, which is you, that's my main message. You are the one. I had a moment on an airplane, a God spark moment, where something took over me and all I felt was like infinite love. And I immediately started bawling on an airplane. I looked around and I saw God, the divine, in every human. I saw and I felt. It wasn't even like I believed this. It was a knowing. It was so overwhelming. I was like bawling. I had to put my sunglasses on and I cried for 15 minutes in the back of the airplane when I felt that level of presence. And I've felt it periodically here and there, but it's something what I know for sure is it is you. So as you're going into this week, as you're going into September, a new month, don't take your dreams lightly. Don't brush them off. And even though the ego mind might be flaring, or even though you might choose a state of consciousness that may not feel good temporarily, you can always think again, choose again, because the way you manifest is you choose and you select a new state of consciousness, a new state of being, a new state of awareness. And from there, your 3D reality will reorganize itself. Because your 3D reality, what you're seeing in reality, is an extension and a projection of your consciousness. This is what the sages across the ages have known. This is what, even if you study biblical scripture, if you study other texts that are both metaphysical and of the spiritual, it all goes back to the same thing. You are the one. So if you feel like you've lost your sparkle, if you feel like you're feeling confused or ungrounded. Like I woke up this morning and I felt kind of angsty. But I know, pop the champagne, get freaking ready, because literally your life's about to pop off. And I say that with, you still need to take personal responsibility for guiding your consciousness, guiding your focus. Even if shit's hitting the fan, feel it to free it. Do not try to ignore your feelings. That's where shit gets crunchy, because the highest frequency is authenticity, love, peace. So when you authentically honor how you feel and you don't try to run from it, You can move the energy, give it to God, the universe, whatever your spiritual practice is. So, when you surrender, when you pray, or when you allow yourself to rest or relax, it's a very feminine energy. Feminine energy is about allowing and receiving. So often we're asking for what we want, but we've been trained, especially as women, that we got to be hyper independent and like boss babe it up and go after it. Now, don't get me wrong. I love being a boss babe. I love being a boss babe in my divine feminine energy. I love giving and receiving. I love doing and being. The thing I needed to work on was my divine femme energy, my allowing, my receiving, my embodiment. Because what I found, and I learned this, anytime I've created something big or I've stepped into or quantum leaped, it's it's when I've allowed myself to embody the state that I wanted. And again, even if you don't, your higher self is called the divine, the God in you is calling you forward to it. In any given moment, you always have options on how you want to choose or select how you're perceiving, being, and experiencing a moment. And your choice, this is what free will is. You select a state of consciousness that you want to focus on and a feeling state. Shit can be going crazy. You can feel it to free it. Be like, okay, I'm going to feel this because this feels nuts. I feel angry. I feel hurt. Like just yesterday, I was like something got activated in me and I was crying. I needed to move the energy. And then on the other side of it, I asked myself, all right, now that I authentically gave myself space to feel, what reality would I choose to select right now? What version of me would I like to come forward? Do I want to stay circling and cycling in like the crap? No, I don't want to. So I let myself feel it. And then I decided, you know what? I need a nap. That's what I need right now. Or you know what? I'm going to go to the pool and just relax for a little bit because I was like getting a little bit overwhelmed. So in any given moment, you can choose, you can select. So anyway, drop a comment below. What are you manifesting? What are you creating? Did this land for you? If it did, drop a heart, drop an emoji that says like you're claiming this new identity. And not just for interaction, but actually when you take action with your voice or with your actions, like you're claiming your next level, your highest timeline. So I invite you, do this today. If you're catching the replay of this, make sure you watch, or if you're catching the live of this, watch back where I talk about the invitation going into this month is to embody your highest self, not be perfect, not be negative, forget negative, positive, just be authentic, honor what's alive for you. And then from that place, choose how does the version of me who already has what she wants, who already has his desires, how are they acting, speaking, and being? And then at night, 5 minutes as you're going to bed in the evenings, take the time to envision living from the end result. And then 5 minutes in the morning before you get out of bed, live from the end result. All right, well, I hope this helped. I love you. I can't wait to see what you create. I can't wait to see your highest fifth dimensional self that you bring forward. I'm in this runway. You're going to see a lot of stuff shifting on my social medias. I'm upgrading my brand. I'm launching new businesses. I've got a new podcast coming out that's my own. I've got a joint podcast coming out with a collaborator. I have a brand called Divine Femme. And I've collaborated with another woman who has a brand named Divine Femme. And instead of competing and being like, oh, you can't have the same brand, we both decided to come together and collaborate and energize and elevate each other. So stay tuned. All of this has happened because I've decided that I am her. I already am her. I'm not becoming her. I am her. And I'm witnessing my becoming. So how do I show up? How do I respond to the challenges that have been coming up, which they have been coming up too? And honestly, the biggest challenges that have been coming up for me, and drop a comment if this resonates for you, is that my mind has been going crazy. Like the old paradigms have been coming to the surface. The old limiting beliefs. It's like the old versions of me, the old identity has been active as I've started practicing a new version of me. And that's to be expected. So if you know you can expect, hey, shit may come up. It might feel crunchy and challenging. It's not necessarily easy if you're going to the gym for the first time and you're weight training, like you need to build the muscle. It's just like you're needing to build the muscle of your new timeline, of your new identity. Ultimately, your ultimate identity is you're the one. You always have been from your birth till your death. You're always God, universe, source incarnated in you as you peering through your eyes. From that, now you can choose. Now use your free will because it's always you. All right. I hope this helped. I'll talk to you soon.